beautiful soul. Welcome to the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This podcast is a vortex for activating wealth, riches, and boss bitches. It is here that I teach multi-dimensional business. Our content will fall under 3 different categories: 5D quantum creation, 4D frequency alchemy, and the most potent 3D strategy. Every aspect of business that contributes to the creation of success is covered here. Plus, I will be personally interviewing the most amazing boss bitches that are at the forefront of the game, paving the way for money, magic, and magnetism in business. Let's get ready to activate all of that within you. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to this week's episode of the Quantum Business Queen podcast. Today, I want to talk to you. I always talk to you about what's kind of going on in my sphere when it comes to energetics and business. And I always want to give you some of the most potent lessons and learnings and all of the beautiful magic that's happening at the moment. And we've got a lot going on. We are launching the Deep Undoing Part 2 when it comes to money and magic and all the things that you need to undo in order to really tap into the flow of money, because we all know money is fully energetic. So if you want to know what it costs to be on that journey with me, then send me an email at sarah@sarahtynan.co and we'll give you the Quantum Business Queen podcast special bonus price. And the journey is truly magical, like so insanely magical. It was inspired from the Deep Undoing Part 1. I just had to continue it because we didn't want to stop it. Like all of the downloads that came through, all of the stuff that was channeled, it was amazing. Like I learned so much myself. So if you want to go on that journey, we are kicking it off very shortly. And this is the Deep Undoing when it comes to money, all of the things that are keeping us separate from truly anchoring into the frequency that is money and that is abundance. And I'm going to talk to you because those are 2 different frequencies, by the way. Money is one frequency. Abundance is a separate frequency. But we're going to break this all down because when you understand that money is an energy and how to align yourself to the frequency of it, this is true self-mastery. I mean, money is the one thing that has us trapped. It has us doing the things we don't want to be doing. It has us living a life out of alignment. It has us enslaved. And when you can master money, you master your life. When you can look at your bank account and not have it overwhelm you or dictate how you feel, this is true self-mastery, and this is how you break the chains. So the Deep Undoing Money Edition, I'm so excited for it. It's powerful stuff, right? Because when you can come out of the matrix, come out of the programs, come out of the things, the evidence that dictates your decisions, when you can start deciding beyond the evidence of what your physical reality is showing you, this is true freedom. The Deep Undoing is all about getting yourself out of this matrix trap. And to do that, you have to disassemble the trap piece by piece. And once you do that, there is true freedom. So this is where we disassemble the money trap that we have potentially gotten ourselves stuck in. And when you undo the trap, like I said, this is true self-mastery. This is true freedom because you can choose to do the things that you want to do regardless of the evidence, choosing beyond the evidence and knowing that the money is a frequency and it will always be there to support you. Now, I know this for a fact. Necker Island was a prime example for me. So I didn't have the evidence showing me that it was something that was viable for me financially, but I know that money is an energy and I chose beyond the evidence. I said yes to Necker Island with 2 weeks to prepare, the flights in and of itself. I think it was 5 different flights just to get to an island, then to take a boat out to Necker Island. And I chose beyond the reality. I chose beyond the evidence, and everything, the universe fully backed me. And it was one of the biggest investments I've made in the shortest amount of time. And again, the evidence wasn't there, but it is a fully paid off investment. I didn't use credit. All of the energetics, all of the money flowed to me, right? This is true self-mastery. This is where you can make any decision knowing that you will be fully held and trusted in the arms of money. And you guys need to understand how this all works. So I'm going to break it all down. It's going to be 9 weeks of weekly deep undoing, and it is going to be one of the most powerful money journeys that you will take. So if you are interested, again, reach out to me. I will look after you. I appreciate you listening. All of you guys, it's so nice to hear from you, by the way. Podcasts are a really interesting thing because you put them out there into the ethers and you trust that people are getting something from it. And when you reach out to me just to say, hey, Sarah, thanks, this episode made a difference, or Sarah, this is really, I'm always really activated when I hear these episodes. It really shifts me. It's what keeps me going, right? So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate you listening. And for that, if you want to join the Deep Undoing, like I said, hit me up and I will give you a beyond special discount price to join this journey. So with that said, I want to talk about the energetics of business, and I want to talk about the energy that needs to be behind the things you do, right? So it was really interesting. I feel the energy behind the Deep Undoing and undoing all of the programs when it comes to money. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, right? I get tapped on the shoulder by my higher self, by the consciousness of these containers, whatever it is, to say, hey, Sarah, you're doing this. 90% of the time, I don't even know what's going to come through. I rarely prepare for any of the slides or any of the live transmissions, because when I do, I'm always taken off I'm veered off the path, and so much is channeled through. And so, like I said, these journeys, these containers, I learn. I get these mind-blowing epiphanies that aren't even mine. They just come through me. And it's a really, really cool thing. And this is how I operate in all of my life, all aspects of my life, I should say. And so it's really interesting. Some of the paths I'm taking down don't really make sense. So for example, right now, my path, the energy that is backing me at the moment and that is backing my business is all about the Deep Undoing all of the things so that you can become one with the realities and the things that you want to experience. That's basically the premises of the Deep Undoing and the Deep Undoing Money Edition. And then also the energy that is really fully behind me at the moment is all around funnels, freedom funnels, and Facebook ads, paid advertisement, which sometimes it doesn't make sense. I'm like, okay, is this the conscious way right now? Is this the conscious way of doing business? And I always just have to trust where the energy is guiding me. I am obsessed with learning about paid advertisement and learning about the ins and outs of funnels. But if I take a step back and understand why, it makes a lot of sense, because my whole journey, my whole purpose has always been about freedom, right? When I was a kinesiologist, my business was called Free Me Kinesiology, and it's about freedom. And so I know that my higher self and that the soul of my business, the consciousness of my business, is wanting me to learn the ins and outs of this 3D strategy, because this is the way businesses can set you free, right? If you have your lead generation or money making machine all set up by way of a funnel and by way of paid advertisements working for you, this leaves you time freedom. This leaves you money freedom. And so I've just been fully immersed, obsessed almost, hiring all the best of the best of the best when it comes to understanding and learning all about funnels and Facebook advertisements. And so I want to talk to you about all of this. But the whole point of me saying this to you, and the reason I want to say this, is because I never manufacture anything I do or anything I launch. It never makes sense. I never plan too far ahead because I'm always leaning into the energy. So for example, I'm thinking, should I launch something? It makes sense for me to launch something around quantum and deliberate creation and all of these things, because I'm the quantum business queen, right? Like that's my brand. When I think about it, there's no energy behind that. And I follow that. I follow where the energy is backing me. Sorry, that's my dog barking in the background. If their energy is not backing what you're doing, if energy is not backing your decisions, then you're not following the breadcrumbs of your soul. So for example, when I think about I'm going to be running a ads mastery course as well. And by the way, if you want to jump in on that, I will look after you. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's probably one of the best investments you can make right now, right? Ads mastery. My energy is fully backing that. Fully backing that. I've just ran a campaign for one of my clients. I feel like, by the way, today's topic is going to go here, there, and everywhere, but this is just, again, fully channeled. Ran a campaign for one of my clients, and she is getting, the leads are flooding in. This is why it's so important, and I feel like this is why my energy is backing me, fully immersing myself in paid advertisements, because number one, it creates the 3 pillars you need to have a fully aligned and profitable business. The 3 pillars are scalability, repeatability, and predictability. If you don't have those 3 things in your business, I would question whether you have a business, right? So unless you are really getting a lot of momentum organically online with your social media, and that creates scalability, repeatability, and predictability, then you need to know and understand ads. And so the reason why I took this journey upon myself is because I was paying somebody $2,000 a month, and I thought, oh my gosh, to run my ads for me. And I didn't understand anything of what she was doing. I've hired and fired so many ad agencies because they weren't getting results for me. And it's one of those things where I thought, right, I need to take this into my own hands. I need to understand how this all works. And so I can do this for myself, because the money I was paying to have my media buyer run my ads for me, I could use that for my ads budget, right? And so I did. I took it upon myself to learn all of this. And I launched one of the first campaigns for one of my clients. I set everything up in the back end. She's never ran ads before. So that's always a bit scary for me, right? Because she's running ads with 0 data on her pixel, and the pixel is the thing that refines all the information that Facebook gathers to really hone in and optimize the ads. So, right, we launched this cold campaign with no data on our pixel, which is what happens when you first launch a campaign, and the ads are doing absolutely phenomenal. The leads are flooding in. She's spent only $125 so far on this campaign. We've already positioned the campaign to call in people who are actually interested in joining. This isn't about opt into my free thing. This is about, all right, this is what I'm doing. Are you interested? We've had 26 people register their interest, and she's only spent $125. So this is unbelievable, right? These results are amazing. That means she's paying $4 approximately, give or take. It took a minute for the ads to ramp up, but she's paying $4 per interest. If she converts 1 or 2 of these people, it would be an $8,000 to $16,000 return for spending. Her budget's $200. So you have to understand, this is where the power is in your business, right? When it comes to really getting yourself out there, creating scalability, repeatability, and predictability. And this is like, if you put into ChatGPT, one of my best friends did this, by the way, what is one of the best investments that you can make to get the quickest and highest return? It is this type of marketing. And it makes sense, right? So if we end up spending $200, and we're way ahead of schedule on her campaign, by the way, we've only spent $125. The campaign, it's the 7th right now. We're meant to end the campaign on the 15th. The goal was 20, and we're at 26, and we've only spent 100 and, like I said, $25 or whatever it was. We've surpassed the goal, and we've in an early time frame, and we're probably going to hit 30 within the budget she's given us. If we convert, like imagine if we converted 4 people, right? 4 people. That is an insane return for $200. So you can see why it makes sense. It's like, okay, I see why my soul, all of my energy is backing me understanding this, because this is what will set people free. This is what will set people's businesses free. My client has not lifted a finger, right? I told her exactly what video she needed to record, and I wrote her the copy. I'm like, meanwhile, she has not lifted a finger, and all of these leads are flooding in. All she needs to do is run the masterclass, convert however many as possible. And we're starting right now. The conversion starts with the ad, because we position the ad in such a way that we're actually bringing people in who actually want to join her, not who want a free thing or to learn something free at our masterclass, but who are interested in joining her container. That's how we positioned her. And then once they opt in, we are starting the conversion process, meaning it is a very high touch process. She's reaching out to every single person individually, because the more the high touch it is, the higher the likelihood is that people will convert. So when you do this, you'll have up to a 10% conversion rate. So if she converts 2 of these people, makes $16,000 and spends $200, you better bet your ass we're going to scale this and we're going to repeat this. And this will be a surefire way that her containers are going to be booked out with such a high return on investment. And so this is where my energy is at the moment. And I love it so much. And I am going to, I taught myself how to fish with all of this, using this skill set for my clients, and the return is amazing. I remember when I paid somebody who was meant to be this $1 million funnel builder, and they brought out Gary Vee to Australia, like this high profile quote unquote entrepreneur. He had his team running my ads for me, and they were getting $20 a lead. So expensive. I wasn't happy with that. They were happy with that result. And I was like, no, I'm not happy with this. So that was the last time, or I was like, nah, I'm done with this. I need to learn the ins and outs of this, because I know I can get crazy good results, because I get crazy good results. I have gotten crazy good results in my account with the right people running my campaign. And I've gotten my account to convert at $5 a lead. I was even happy with $10 a lead, but now we're getting my client $4 a lead, which is amazing results. And so what I'm doing now, the next horizon, are these 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to teach you, we have 1 spot left, by the way, in Scale with Automation. So if you want us to build out a full funnel for you, a full automation to automate your business, to automate selling your courses, which part of this is teaching you how to run the back end in your Facebook and your paid campaigns and organic strategy, we do have 1 spot left. However, I'm going to be taking 5 people on a journey with me and teaching them. And I'm going to teach you guys how to run these ad campaigns for yourself, because your business needs this, right? Organic strategy is really hard. However, we've gotten really good results with organic strategy in the past. But if you want to add a layer where it's very low touch for you initially when you set up the campaign and you start bringing in the leads, once the leads start coming in, you really want to start acting on them, because the more, like I said, you connect with these people, the higher your conversion rate will be. But this is where you create a business that will truly give you freedom, because you will rinse and repeat. And this is where endless scalability is possible, because there are billions of people on the planet, right? There are millions and millions of people on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to start tapping into these people who desperately need what your offer is, it's paid advertisement. It is paid advertisement, and it is proving that this is the most powerful means of making money quickly, getting the best return on investment. Not only will she convert hopefully several of these people and pay $200 and hopefully convert that into $8,000 to $16,000 at the minimum, at the minimum conversion rate. Our goal is to convert 4 of these people, which would be, again, next level amazing. She's actually going to have new people in her sphere that maybe if they don't eventually convert now, they will further down the track. So this investment is one of the best you can do, not only for your business, but just in general. I continuously reinvest in my business. I will work with the best of the best of the best of the best. The person who is teaching me this and who has taught me how to build these campaigns did this for the NFL, right? I work with the best of the best of the best. That's why I have the mentor that I've worked with for the past 3 years. The person who has taught me organic strategy on Instagram and Facebook has, she's created posts that have gotten her 200,000 followers from one post. And these are the people I learn from. And this is the information I take in and then in turn give to you. So this podcast episode is a bit all over the place, but the whole point of it was to say you need to follow the energy of your business. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. The energy for me, the energy that's backing me at the moment is all about undoing the programming through the deep undoing, and then also learning the skill set that is going to help businesses create true freedom. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a container called Ads Mastery, and I'm going to include the deep undoing money edition as well. And it's going to be $3,000 AUD. So that includes the Ads Mastery. You will learn everything from A to Z when it comes to building out and scaling your own campaigns. And you will have the Deep Undoing Money Edition included in on that as well. So you could do one or the other if you wanted, but you can do both as well. I'm going to take 5 people on this journey, 5 people, because I want to make sure that I can be all over the back end of your ads as well. If you're able to pay in full, then I will set up all of your ad campaigns for you. but I will also teach you how to do it as well. And you can get results like my client who is getting $4 per lead and is going to be smashing her goal. Absolutely smashing her goal. And I'm so excited for all of this. My energy is backing this like you wouldn't believe. So I know there's going to be so much gold. So much gold in the ads and in the deep undoing. I rarely sell in these podcasts, but this is a really, really, really powerful opportunity. And this is for service-based businesses only, by the way. So if you're selling a product, this would not be for you because that's different. There are all different ways of setting up those campaigns. I do not understand how to set those campaigns up. I do, however, understand how to set up campaigns for service-based businesses. So if you're selling a online course or wanting to launch a masterclass, wanting to get leads in for whatever you teach online, that is my forte. That is how I've built my businesses. That's how I've done 6-figure launches. And that is what is getting some powerful results through right now. So if you want to take me up on my offer, then reach out. I haven't officially launched it yet. So this is like secret squirrel stuff because you guys are my amazing loyal followers on this podcast. And yeah, if you want in on this now, there will not be this opportunity again. I will launch the ad course, but it will be fully digital. With this one, you'll get my live support. We'll catch up weekly. We'll go for about 6 weeks. And however, I tend to go longer sometimes, but this will teach you everything you need to know. And by the way, it's actually quite simple. When you first go into learning all of this stuff, it might seem like a foreign language, but I was so surprised on how, when you break it down into little tiny bite-sized pieces, how easy it is to learn, set up, and then launch, and then rinse and repeat. And it's always a continuous optimization, of course. There's always tweaks you can make. When I first launched this client's campaign, it wasn't converting. And then I tweaked a couple of things and it's converting like you wouldn't believe. And so I'm going to show you all of this. Yeah, look. It's truly magic. Like, this is the skill set. You want to learn how to fish this. You want to learn how to fish with paid advertisements. Once you understand this is what creates 6 figures, multi-6 figures. And this, once you understand how to convert leads at a very low cost and you're converting those leads into sales, this is where marketing budgets can become irrelevant because you're making so much money. And 6 figures, multi-6 figures, this is how people scale into millions, right? So, all right. This is your opportunity. $3,000 AUD. Of course, we can do payment plans, etc. But if you do pay in full, then I will set up your campaign for you. But you'll learn how to set it all up regardless. Yeah, there it is. You heard it here first. I'm going to leave this episode here and know that there's so much potential out there for you. You want to build your online real estate now, like you truly do. If you want your business to just catapult into 2025, it's now. Now's where you want to start setting all of this up. Now's where you want to start scaling. You want to build this strong foundation to start scaling yourself into 6 and multi-6 figures with that is your lowest standard, right? That is the lowest minimum you will get if you understand how to optimize and run ads properly to sell your stuff. You want your business to be a data game. You want it to be predictable. You want to just be able to reverse engineer exactly what you need to spend in order to get the exact results to convert into the exact amount of money. And this is where it gets juicy. If you're on a roller coaster, and if you don't have repeatability and predictability or scalability, you just don't really have a powerful business. This will give you all of it, just learning the ads aspect of your business, right? So if you want in on this, please message me ASAP. There are 5 spots. It's $3,000. I'm making this an absolute no-brainer price, right? Absolute no-brainer price. I'm going to include the Deep Undoing Money Edition to make it, again, a no-brainer, which I'm going to be selling at $2,000 anyway for the public. I will give you a special bonus if you just want to join the Deep Undoing. But like I said, ever rarely do I sell in podcast episodes, but this is the opportunity of a lifetime because this will change your business. It will truly change your business. All right. I'm going to leave you with this for now. I love you dearly and thank you so much for listening. I really, really appreciate you guys so much, more than you know. And I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul. I hope you got so much gold and were activated in such a way that you could step into your highest timeline of abundance and freedom, because it is more than possible for you. If that desire has been planted in your soul, it is so deliberate. If you wouldn't mind, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that we can get this message into the hearts and ears of more amazing light beings across the world. I would love to continue this conversation with you, so feel free to get in touch on Instagram at sarah.tynan.quantumcoach. If you're a Facebook person, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sarah Tynan International. And please don't ever forget, if your desire is there, it's because your destiny is there too. You just have to remember who you are. Bye for now, beautiful.